So, gonna need you to plug your mic in over there. Gonna need you to plug your mic in over there. No, it's right there. Just plug it into the microphone. That's right. Da da da. All right, come on, sit over here and face me. And talk a little bit.
Yo.
Okay, cool. Let me just bring it down a little bit. All right. God knows who's watching at what time. Well, this is all going to be stuff that we got for other services like YouTube and all that, or like SoundCloud and all that. Hey Patreon, this is extra stuff. This is all going to be
What's up?
stuff that we got for other services like YouTube and all that, or like SoundCloud and all that. Anyway, let's get this started.
All right.
My mentors have a ding. What's up, everybody? This is Silder Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and welcome to Coffee and Conversation. This is a show where I drink coffee, and sometimes my co-host does, but somebody don't like coffee, huh? All right, so we're just going to frame you up a little bit more. Okay, now scoot over to your left just a little, yeah. Framing you up. No, keep going. Look at the monitor, man.
Oh.
Look at the monitor.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right. We finally got a monitor and all that jazz. And, move the microphone in a little bit. Come on, you have a podcast.
True, this is true.
Now talking to the blue. Talking to the blue light.
Into the blue.
Yeah.
I will say you're.
You can move the mic.
You're
Get
far more
comfortable.
sophisticated than our podcast.
Yeah, it's one of them things. I've been working on this for a little while, and
Okay.
I'm
shows.
I'm a little older, so. But yeah, so by the way, if you guys are wondering who the hell that is my new guest host. Hopefully he will be here every week by the name of Mr. Sable Nash. I would say give it up, everybody, but this is not a live stage performance, so I can't hear your applause.
I will try. I will try to be here.
Yeah, so tell him a little bit about yourself.
Name is Sable. I am an amateur colorist, comic book artist, writer, illustrator, graphic designer, tattoo artist, all-around artist. Everyone's favorite asshole, the most lovable villain on the internet. You guys are typically going to hate my opinions, but so what? What?
Oh, that is fair enough. So, here's the whole gig, by the way. I'm going to hit you with the language thing because, we got kids watching this soon. So I'm trying to keep this all down. I was nice enough to take down my signs because I got signs around here normally that say cool things like don't try to be funny. Let the person finish the conversation or finish their sentence. And, just keep it civil because we friends and we don't want to get loud. Because once you hit middle age, you don't care about going to jail. You're already tired.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yep. Let me give you a little bit more volume. Oh, just a little bit more volume there. Julio Iglesias. So, you made it. Although we're working on a little bit of CPT time. We got the Ruthless Wonder.
A little bit.
Yeah, we got the Ruthless Wonder hanging out in the chat room. How you doing, man? How you doing? Hopefully we'll
Shout
be
out
getting
to
some
you,
more.
Ruthless.
Oh yeah, Ruthless is the man, dude. He is one of our prime deckers. Oh yeah. Looking at the merch, huh? Merch.
I really like this Thanos.
Well, that's good because we give those things away, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. So tell me, how was your week, man?
Man, my week has been very busy. I got a lot going on. I recently lost my press pass, which was a unfortunate event, but
Lost your press pass?
yeah. So
Like and
I was
overall.
working with an organization that we shall not name. They ain't getting no shine on my time. And we had a falling out due to a miscommunication on what I believe is his end. And rather than try to explain what I really meant to say, I'm not about to beg you for nothing that I really low key don't want to do anymore anyway. Because he kind of asked me he came to me for help, and he essentially was trying to build something off a pre-built platform that kind of fell off. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing wrong. I can help you this way, XYZ. I had all these connects, brought him people as well, and yeah, it turned into something else. He essentially said he needed me for one thing, but then tried to sign me up as an intern to do all these other things. It's like,
oh,
yeah, this isn't what you asked me for at first. I was still willing to help. I just needed him to know that, like, hey, man, you're asking a lot for some free, and I had other obligations. Like, you know, I gave him some suggestions as to meet middle ground, but he came off as a type of, like, very anal, overly authoritarian type person, and he's like, oh, I sense too much alpha in this one. I'm gonna let him go. I was like, yeah.
He actually said that?
No.
The alpha is strong.
I could sense it.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
No, I
will
gotta
tell
think
you
about energies.
I will tell you this, man. As you get older, I promise you, whose fault it is, who dropped the ball and other stuff, it's not going to matter nearly as much.
No.
The whole thing is, you lost your press pass. Now you got to get another press pass. You know,
I already have one.
Oh, then you cool.
Same day.
You cool. Yeah, keep up.
Yeah, I got a new one the same day, but it's a significantly less position, I guess, and they need a lot less from me. So, you know, I guess my efforts will go a bit more unnoticed as they would have had I worked with the other people. But hey, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so what you're telling me right now is the old relationship didn't work out,
No.
and now you got your pass with less work and less responsibility.
Yeah, but see,
That sounds like a win, man.
it does. But I was already going to AX. It would have been nice to have something, walk away with something on a resume. You know, like, hey, I did press for XYZ.
Bruh, take the win. Take the win. Just be happy with the win, man. I'm telling you, because you got a whole weekend at AX that you'll be doing some stuff for us. You know, you got the whole weekend to make your connections. I mean, I can tell you, way back when I was first in the entertainment industry, every failure was an opportunity to get something better. That's the whole gig.
Yeah, it kind of opened my eyes to where it's like, you know what? I need to stop trying to be a part of something and build something.
Ooh, you mean being a man?
Yeah, and that kind of opened my eyes. It's like, you know what? Like, I had way more to offer him than he had to offer me. So it's like, that's why I really wasn't too much tripping. But it's like, dang, I wasted like a lot of time even this far with you. And I wish I hadn't done that. It was almost disgusting that he wanted to let me go over such a small miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but you know, when you see stuff like that, that's a major red flag. It's like, yeah, I can't work under you if you have that poor leadership skills.
That's exactly the whole gig, man. I'm telling you. Putting more stuff up on Deckers of the Book. Hopefully Millhouse will be joining us sometime soon, at least in the chat. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you know, I live by the magic of backhanded blessings.
Backhanded blessing.
Backhanded blessings.
Yeah,
That is
that's in my
correct.
repertoire of words.
Yeah, that is when the gods, the spirits, the universe knock out my teeth so I can get a new grill.
That's exactly what I feel like happened. It's like, you don't know you can fly until you take that leap.
And sometimes you need to be pushed off the cliff.
Yes.
I will tell you, I was hurting hard, and I got the GoFundMe up for the website because, you know, building this stuff has been like having a boat, which is a great big fiberglass hole in your life that you try and fill with money. That's what this really is. And I'm like, man, I need to get another $200-$300. I need to pay for this service and that service. And one of the big things on that was my apartment got robbed.
Yay!
Oh yeah, totally. My apartment totally got robbed. However, this is the really fun bit about the apartment getting robbed. Ooh, my switcher is acting a little wacky right now. But yeah, one of the cool things about getting robbed was that the renter's insurance ended up handling my business. You know, the renter's insurance did its thing, and I ended up replacing the stuff that was stolen with enough money left over to pay for some of the stuff I needed. You know?
So backhanded blessings.
Exactly. Yeah, my house got broken into. But, yeah, I ended up, what can I say? I ended up getting the stuff I needed. Hey, Millhouse is on. Get good, my Damie. Coming down on the running kind. But yeah, so what I'm gonna say to that, hang on, I'm gonna kill the switcher real quick, and in that time, I want you guys to enjoy the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful visions of the stuff we're looking at today.
Oh,
yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm still working out the kinks on the website, and right now it's hardware. So I'm gonna say. Check out Miles Morales while we're looking at it. And but they can still hear us. They can hear every word.
I love that picture too. That picture of Miles Morales. Yeah, something about, I'm very biased towards black, grays, and reds. Very biased. A lot of my work is done in that very same color scheme.
Nice. Yeah, honestly, I was real concerned about Miles myself, but we'll get into him a little later on today. But hey, look, the gear, I had to get the gear working, because you ever watch the IT Crowd?
No.
Well, they had this thing on the IT Crowd. Somebody want to know, did you do that Miles Morales? And the answer is nope.
No, not the one showed, but I've done another Miles Morales picture that I ended up selling the original for at the
Speak up, man. Speak up.
What was it?
Okay, hang on. I know what I got to do to wake you up into this whole thing. I know what you got to do.
Am I being that low? Like,
yeah, you're like, oh, well, yes.
I'm not trying to be too
You
boisterous.
sound like an NFL player making an apology publicly. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, yes, I am sorry for sleeping with those women.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to just say one thing. Just one thing.
Oh?
Y'all going to like this. Yeah, one thing. I didn't have a problem with Jane Foster as Thor.
Oh, that's blasphemy.
There he is. There's my boy. There's my boy right there.
Oh.
Right there. That's what I'm talking about.
I did.
We'll get into that in the show. I just had to wake you up. I just had to wake you up.
God.
You know, that was all.
You did it.
Yeah, that
it.
is all. That is all. So, yeah, see, even Millhouse is like, man, Sable does have low energy. I just had to wake you up.
Millhouse, no, I'm usually loud. I'm trying to ease in, be racially ambiguous black guy, mild-mannered.
Dude, put that card back in the deck. All right. I called you here because I want you.
I'm gonna put it at the bottom. Bam, I'm gonna put it at the bottom.
Exactly. Yeah, put that at the bottom of the deck, as a matter of fact. And Millhouse is like, low, triggered. Triggered. But yeah, seriously. No, I brought you here because you're loud, you're boisterous, you are passionate, and
I gotta fake it first.
And you don't. No, this is all about keeping it 114, bro. You know.
I'm real enough to tell you I'm fake.
Fair enough. And I want you here because you don't agree with me on everything.
I do not. I do not agree with you on everything. Oh my God.
If I wanted an echo chamber, I'd be sitting on Facebook. Ooh! Shout out to Zuckerberg. We could use an endorsement, maybe a grant.
Give us some money, Zuckerberg. You got it.
Nah, he ain't gonna give us money. But no, seriously. So, but as far as the week has been concerned, you know, it's been meetings, recruiting people, showing people.
I've literally been the same way.
Hit down. I got a hold of our dude. God, I am so terrible. One of our dudes in the San Clemente School District who scored us the Boys and Girls Club for the role-playing club, for the RPG and D&D club. So we got the Boys and Girls Club down in San Clemente, and we've been working on that for a little while.
How many kids do you expect? How many kids do you expect to have?
My boy is a guidance counselor at a middle school. We gonna be good.
Say less.
Yes.
Say less.
Yeah, we gonna be good. So yeah, so we got that going. So working on the community aspect of what we're doing, took a major step forward, and meeting with all yo peeps.
You still haven't met anyone. You got to meet my boy Sadler. Shout
What are you
out to
talking
Sadler.
about? Not met anyone. I mean, I got Millhouse, I got Cam.
I said you haven't met everyone.
Oh, everyone.
It's a few key players that I want you to meet that have been also busy.
Oh, okay. So
Actually,
what
whenever-
you saying? The boys you introduced me to ain't worth all that much.
You got a
Careful,
solid.
some of them are watching.
You got a solid B team, but the other people I want you to meet are better than me. They're in other elevated places.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah, all in time. I'm just happy I was able to touch base with people in the
I put
community.
myself in the B team.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
That's how much higher they are. than me.
Honestly, are you kidding? I'm like third, fourth, fifth
Bro, 'cause
level.
You've built more than I have.
Well,
So.
yeah, but I've also been at it a little longer.
Okay.
And that's a different thing.
That's true.
By the time you've got as much mileage in this as I have, or more as much time, you gonna be way down.
Yeah,
there.
I'm the shit. I'm just trying to be humble.
Hmm?
I'm the shit. I'm just trying to be humble.
All right, cool. And I'm cool with that. Be humble. Sit down.
There we go.
Be humble. What, y'all thought I didn't listen to some hip hop? Come on, I'm diversity, man, diversity. But yeah, be humble. No, or I'll cut you off. Ooh, boo boo. No, so meeting all the people that you introduced me to, it was so nice to not have to code switch all the time.
Oh God.
So nice. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm working on some folks in the Latino community, and really trying to reach out to them ladies. I'm hoping in a couple of weeks we're gonna have a special Skype guest, and that's gonna be some cool stuff.
I didn't know you were seeking Latino comic book nerds. I know a lot of them too.
People of color, bruh.
My bad. My bad.
People
My bad. I
of
messed up.
color. Color means not white. Technically not black, because black is a shade when you're talking about colors. You're an artist, man. You know this.
True. This is true.
But yeah, no, I'm trying to reach everybody, including the rural poor.
You got to come to the bug, man. You busy Wednesdays, but one Wednesday, take your mama with you, man. Come on, we going to the bug because we're a very diverse group.
That's what the guy that you're replacing is Steve Caceres.
Shout out to Steve.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Steve. He was the original co-host in this show.
Okay.
But if you spent any time with him, he's big on politics. So
That's what I love about Steve. I love we disagree all the time and argue.
well, yeah, of course. And he's a little older than me.
I still have not been able to make it to one of Steve's movie nights, man. And
Well,
I keep saying I'm gonna go.
He's
but
having an impromptu one this Friday.
it's not even impromptu because they're every Friday.
No, they're not every Friday. No, they're
every
once a
other
month.
Friday now?
They're
Okay.
once a month. But the big thing is he's really big on politics, and he's been busting his butt doing community organizing stuff in his city to try and get more Democrats and stuff in office.
That's what I love about Steve.
Oh yeah. So
he's great.
So what is the lesson that we learned from Captain Steve? Do something. Just get up and do something. Get people to vote. I mean,
I do
he's-
believe I have heard him say that before.
Huh?
That is a quotable of Captain Steve.
Yeah, Captain Steve. I have not met a larger fan of Captain America. So, but yeah, so he's been telling me to go to the bug. Jordan Moon, the cosplaying girl.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
she
she's
does Danica Shade.
yeah, she does Danica Shade for our good old boy Joey.
Joe.
Yeah, and she's on one of these shows. She's a backer of the website.
Okay.
So again,
All right,
the bug
Jordan.
gives me
I
love.
see you.
Yeah, yesterday was her birthday, by the way. So shout out from back in the deck, girl.
Happy belated,
birthday. Happy birthday. Do your whole thing, and I promise one day you won't be so angry. But
She's
yeah,
such a
so
sweetheart to me. She's
Oh.
angry to you.
oh, no, she ain't rude to me at
Oh.
all. But then I am her personal trainer. But no, she is the girl. She is a fantastic woman. But man, I thought I was bitter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's actually one of the things. I mean, Jordan is a very attractive woman, and she's, being an attractive woman who wants to be an animator, she's got her own hurdles. Just because winning that part of the genetic lottery does kind of take away some opportunities in some places, and talk about stress. But we'll have her on the show again when she is more comfortable with speaking, or when I get enough whiskey. Yeah, that is one of them things. So, what? I ain't above getting my guests drunk,
Okay. I see you.
because I don't drink the liquor myself.
I'm a social drinker.
Hmm?
I'm a social drinker.
Social drinker.
Social drinker.
By the way, I got microphones, but speaking up helps.
I'm sorry.
You must be tired. You want some coffee?
Let's get back to some more controversy. That'll wake me up.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So for those of you guys that tuned in, thank you. Thank you very much. And please subscribe and share with your friends and hit up the fundraising thing on the GoFundMe. I'm leaving a link and all that stuff. It's
GoFund him.
Yeah, GoFundMe/BidP. That is BID_P. Because we're trying to get better gear. Because I know some of y'all upset with this thing. This thing right here. All this yellow right here. Yeah, we're trying to get past that. But we're not there yet. We're not there.
That shows up on the live stream?
Yes, it does show up on the live stream, sadly.
Oh, that is ass.
Well, you know, it might be booty, but this is the 21st century, so we're looking to get thick. But
okay.
All right, yeah. So you say that's booty. I say
what is causing that problem?
It is essentially the settings of the camera that I can't turn off. So in time, once we get our switcher, which is the next thing, this thing won't be a problem.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna try to keep my head very still, people, when the camera's on me.
No, they'll get used to it because people can adapt to anything.
Try not to.
He's
move.
like, trying not to move. Yeah. And for those of you guys that are listening to us on SoundCloud, what's up? What's going on?
Are we on SoundCloud?
Oh yeah, we go. That is what we do.
Shout out to all the people that were looking for failed rappers that stumbled upon us.
Damn.
If you are 30 and you have been rapping since you are 17, sorry, bruh. Maybe you can engineer now.
You see, that is why I like you working with me. Because let me show you how it's done. For those of you guys that are 30 and still trying to be rappers, give us a call. We'll feature you on the show, and you can do your thing, and maybe you might get seen by somebody.
I'm going to laugh at you.
Because
I know your music is trash. You would have made it by now. For everybody that's 30 and been rapping since they were 17, I want you to go on YouTube and look up someone named Little Pump. That person's a millionaire now. You suck.
Ouch. You know, I'm going to say this. Talent is not equally distributed, but just because one has talent doesn't mean they get opportunity. Okay? That's a real big thing. And if you don't believe me, go down to the Mississippi Delta and listen to every single blues guitarist and ask, why ain't you on tour? And they'll say something like, no, all that, and then they'll say something about, you know, America First or something.
So
but still,
they'll speak to you in the hood Ebonic tongues.
You know, hey, James Brown said it to Bootsy Collins on Bootsy's first day as part of the band. 25% show, 75% business. If you don't know the business end, you ain't gonna make it. Ask Hammer.
Hey man, he made it. He was just too nice.
Huh?
He should have invested his money in drugs. Kids don't sell drugs, but low key, they sell drugs.
Wrong.
No, I said low key.
Wrong.
Yeah, bro.
Wrong.
Just a little bit.
Wrong.
Okay,
wrong.
legal drugs.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's right. If you make your money, invest in pharmaceuticals. Pfizer is where the money is. Forget the weed. You know, I'm talking coming up on that Prozac, you know, and all the Xanax.
Go in your parents' medical cabinet and take the pills to school and sell them to rich white kids.
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we hood, but that don't mean we're bad. Just like country don't mean dumb. I got you, Alabama. Nobody's got Mississippi, but I got you, Alabama.
There you go.
So getting on to our topic.
Oh, here it comes.
Like I said, today we're talking about diversity in comics, where it worked, where it didn't, and
can you even say diversity in comics? Because are we talking about actual diversity in comics, or the blasphemous YouTube channel that you can't ever mention without being called a racist or neo-Nazi?
Aha. See, we are going to explore that idea, but we are going to go, because one of the things that we do here at BidP, one of the things that we do here in the Wizard's Tower is very simple. We recognize our knee-jerk hatred. But you know what? We are adults, and we got people who are practicing be an adult out there, so we're going to explore the concept beyond what we feel. Okay, that is what we are going to do. Like I said, it's going to get loud. I know it's going to get loud, but we're going to go a little deeper. Okay, so that's the whole gig, because I'm going to tell you a quick story.
I'm ready.
Hmm?
I'm ready.
Well, way back 4 years ago, okay, not 4 years ago, but a few years ago, when Batman
Less than
versus
4?
Superman came out.
Okay.
Okay, I was sitting at my
Trash.
local, I call it an acquired taste.
Oh, well, you can acquire to taste trash.
Yeah, ask every beer drinker, in my
Rich
opinion.
people eat snails.
Yeah, and most people drink beer, but in my opinion, that's trash. But here's the whole gig. I was talking to a dude that said it was terrible. Shout out Pierre. What's up, man? He said it was terrible. Go see Deadpool instead. And I said, okay. What's bad about it?
Everything.
And he said it should have been good. Superman should have been good.
I love that guy.
And I said, define good. Because the movie showed him doing acts of goodness. He saved people's lives and all that stuff. Let me finish. Okay? And the guy said, like the cartoon. Now, my whole point is that get good, make it good, be like this.
Very broad statement.
Exactly. Very broad statements and very, very open to interpretation. So we gonna delve. Okay, and I want you to know, in preparation for this last night, I ended up getting into a fight with my girl because she's on your team when it comes to Jane Foster.
Your girlfriend's awesome. She just gets it. She just gets it.
Yeah, but you know what? After a bit of grr, we were able to bring up actual close points and cite examples. We talk to each other the way that your English teacher told you how to write. Okay. And our ideas were actually heard and examined. That doesn't mean that we agreed. It doesn't mean we came to common ground, but we at least understood each other. And that is what I'm aiming for with these shows. You ain't got to agree with us, but you gonna understand. That's all.
Okay.
Go understand. All right. So I asked, what do you think about it so far?
Thor?
Talk to me.
Jane
No,
Foster?
not Thor. Just everything we're doing here. It's your first day.
I like it. I'm getting the feel of it. Slowly coming out of my shell so you can all experience my ratchetness.
Okay.
You will feel the Compton soon. Soon.
So yeah, because I'm letting you guys know, when he asked me what we're going to be talking about, I dropped this on him and he's like, brilliant!
Yes.
You're brilliant! And
I have these conversations all the time, but a lot of people act like they're afraid to have them, especially in certain industry circles that I'm in, because you can literally not get work if you agree with anything that isn't PC culture.
Politics. Yeah, as Tim Allen. So I asked him for examples that back his point and examples that tear it down, i.e. when it did work, when it didn't work, so that we have a framework of why the things that failed and how they can do it right. And I provided 4 examples myself, and I was happy because they didn't cross over. Although the one we do have total agreements on common ground on one, just one.
Oh,
so far, yeah, total. Actually, because
only Miles Morales.
See, don't give it away, man.
Well, his picture's right there.
I understand that, and we showed the picture earlier.
Okay.
But I said you brought 4, I brought 4, so it could have been like
I brought 2
8.
bad ones and 2 good ones.
Exactly, and I said we had common ground.
Okay.
On one of them. See where I went there?
Yeah. Okay.
I left it broad so that they have to stay tuned.
I'm sorry for spoiling it, guys. Act surprised when y'all hear it.
It's okay. One of these days you'll watch more TV and you know exactly how the broadcast formula works. But that is why we are working together, my friend. That is how we're working together. But talk to them right there. And I am going to grab a little more coffee and then we move into our second segment.
Talk to them about what?
I'm going to be out of the room. So now is your time to talk shit about how you were going to bury me in this conversation.
Oh, you know me so well. You know me so well. All right, to everybody listening, man.
I'm closing the door, too.
Hey, Jane Foster. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me talk. First of all, Jane Foster, everything about her is trash. I don't want to get into too much of her without him, but like, yeah, bro. Forced diversity in comics is bad. It doesn't work, and that's why a lot of these whole books get canceled. They're made by inexperienced people who don't know the diverse character that they're even writing about. But then if you pick up somebody who's a quote-unquote person of color just because they're a person of color and have them write a character, that's not necessarily good either, because, okay, they're a person of color, but they're not a good comic book artist or writer. And I think that's a lot of the problems you see in Marvel. I'm probably going to end up saying that same point again when he gets back, and I probably shouldn't went that far into it. But yeah, that's how I feel. Pretty much. Other than that, you know, yeah, there aren't many good examples of diverse characters in comics. And I think we're at the tipping point where that's going to change, but I think the industry is just trying to find the perfect algorithm of that. And by that I mean, like, you know, for every bad forced SJW character we get in Marvel or DC or any other indie comic book area, we get one good one. And if we keep that up, after like 50 failed characters, we'll have like 5, 6, 7 good ones. I'm going to expound on that point a little later once we get into the topic.
See, I'm back now, so... All right, you get all that mental diarrhea out right
now?
now?
Oh, no. not at all.
Our mouths are neurological assholes.
A little bit.
Yeah, talking crap a mile a minute.
A mile a minute, man. I'm at, like, flash speed. My shit talk is, like, going back in time and shit.
Well, I want you to know I don't exactly talk crap.
Okay. You know, I do. That's me.
But I challenge.
Guys, I talk a lot of mess. I welcome all the smoke. Leave all of your heinous comments. I will respond back with equally egregious trash talk. I do not care about your opinion. I got time for all the BS. I welcome it.
Ooh. Let's see. So, yeah. So, what we're doing right now is, now that I've given you some time to prime your crap talking, you know, to prime it. I'm debating on whether or not we should start with the good or with the bad, because this show is a little under an hour and a half.
I think we should start with the bad, because I'll be able to transition into why those didn't work and why the ones did.
All right. Well,
so mistakes into miracles.
All right. You know what? That's not a bad idea, but I don't think we should start with it. I think we should put that in the middle.
Okay.
What we should start with is defining diversity in comics. Number one.
Ooh.
Okay. We need a framework.
Not the infamous YouTube channel that you're not allowed to mention if you ever want to work at Marvel.
No. What we are talking about is representation of the target audience. Okay, and the target audience is
keyword
diverse.
Target audience.
Now see, that is one of the things that always weighs on me, because I'm not going to talk about the sales thing that was so many months ago, but what I am going to say is this: the niche of the comic market is smaller than what most people think it is. I was there at the Speculator bust in 1996. Okay, I remember how The Death of Superman sold millions, and now a book is, like, I think the highest grossing or the highest selling books in comics right now are topping out at no more than 50,000. So we're talking, I mean, that is 0.5% of what they were, which tells me that the comic book market is much smaller than most people remember. This is important because of one major thing. In deciding the target audience, who are they reaching out to?
Right.
Okay. History has shown us that television is a much more broad sweeping market than almost anything else. Most of the people that are around my age in their mid 40s, they don't like the X-Men because of Chris Claremont's run specifically. They like the X-Men because of the Fox Kids cartoon. And most people are into Batman because of the animated series. And most of the people that are into the Justice League are into the Justice League beyond the animated series. That is
an absolute fact when it comes to me, because I am DC biased. I'm a huge
You mean
Batman
biased against?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a huge Batman fan, but other than that, I don't like DC at all. but Justice League Unlimited made me want to look up some of these characters.
And see,
that was kind of cool. What does this guy do?
Yeah, see, that's one of the things I'm talking about. Now, right now, Marvel does have the market share in the store, primarily because the Marvel movies have been wrecking movie theaters for the past 10 years.
Do they only control the market when it comes to like the cinematic universe? Because I think DC's killing them when it comes to comic book sales.
No, they're not. They're not.
Bro.
Marvel is, we can talk to the owner of the bug, but Marvel is still up there because, again, since they're killing it with the cinematic
as a company,
universe,
they're still up there, but when you compare their past sales to what they are used to sell.
that's the market's move in swells and busts. But in just plain paper comic sales right now, Marvel is still winning. And they're winning because they have a higher piece of the population due to the movies.
Are we talking about overall or comic books?
Just comics.
You know what? I might have to cite that information, but I could swear I was reading somewhere that DC was beating them by like a few percent. But the actual person killing in the comics game right now is technically Viz Media, which is manga.
Well, yeah.
Otaku buy books.
Otaku buy books, but they're not on the table.
Okay.
They're not on the table for this discussion simply because we're talking just the mainstream comic industry.
Okay.
We're not even talking Image and Valiant. We're talking or Top Cow. We're just talking the main ones, the icons. Because the stuff from the other mediums.
I like how you mentioned Top Cow after Image. You're disrespectful.
Look, Top Cow was real good
to you.
To me.
Okay. Just clear that up.
When I was single and I needed some me time.
Reaganomics.
Yeah. No, they were post Reagan. Well, they were post. The Top Cow came out in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. And
it was a facetious joke.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember Top Cow being good.
Oh, no. I don't know what their stories were about half the time, but I wasn't. Top Cow was the closest thing a minor could get to a Playboy. Let's face that.
So you was chasing titties. You was chasing titties.
No, I was working out.
Okay.
But
is that what they call it now? Working out?
Well, you get stronger.
Okay.
But the properties from the other companies don't have the impact. And let's face it, if Marvel is selling 25 to 250,000 books total, and DC is selling about the same, then you got Image that might be selling 20,000.
All Image is going. That's all Walking Dead.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Well, no, they've got
Spawn
a couple of
came back for a little bit, but
and their sales are going to spike over the next couple of years. Thanks, Jamie Foxx.
Right.
But just looking at the representation of the target markets, the market is decided by who goes and buys the books. Now, the market is sustained by the hardcore people with pull lists that show up every week. Can we agree on that?
Absolutely. That's a fact.
Now, the spikes in sales, the people that have the pull list, they generate the bottom of what the sales are. That's what they're going to do. No matter what week comes by, they're going to sell this many books because they have this many people that have that many pull lists, right? But reaching out to new people, how do you get the new people? And the answer has always been media other than comics.
True.
Cartoons, TV, movies.
DC is killing it with the animated movies.
They have been. Well, DC is killing it with the animated movies and television as a medium. I'm not going to lie.
True.
Marvel is doing great, but just in the department of superheroes and comic properties, Warner Brothers is kicking their asses.
I don't know how much money they're generating from the AdSense on the TV shows, but I know I like the Netflix Marvel TV series better than the DC TV series.
Believe it or not, I'm completely
minus
split.
Iron Fist. Iron Fist was trash. Trash Iron Fist. This is a dude who beat a dragon to death with his bare hands. I do not believe you, Danny Rand. People getting to jump on you, regular people, like not even ninjas. It's like, there you go, sneak up on him. Where did you come from? Oh no, like You the Iron Fist? No, they did that show wrong. They should have did season 1. He should have been in Kung Lung, and then at the end became Iron Fist. And Defender season 1 could have been about him coming to the real world.
I feel so much like the little black kid from Hook right now.
Oh,
there you are, Peter. That's who I called in, ladies and gentlemen.
okay.
That is the.
I'm sorry
Sable
for that
I called.
tangent, guys. I'm sorry.
That's what I want, man.
Okay.
Millhouse is Millhouse is dying. Let's see. Let me check the chat here real quick. Yeah.
Do they hate me yet?
Hmm?
Do they
No.
hate me?
No. You're doing good. You're doing
I'm
good.
not doing my job then.
Hmm?
If they don't hate me.
You cannot be a troll because if you start trolling, I fire you.
I don't troll. My natural opinions about these things tend to be unpopular.
That's unpopular. Unpopular's fine here in the Wizard's Tower as long as it's backed by fact. And that's what we do.
When it's not backed by fact, it's going to be backed by Sable facts, which are things I just happen to feel at the time.
Really?
Yes.
So you're running for office?
No.
Because that's very much like the president currently.
Well, hey, Trump taught me. I'm glad Trump is president. Here's why. When Obama became president, they were like,
Hang on, the opinions of Sable
okay,
the opinions of Sable Nash and in the political arena in no way reflect the feelings of Back in the Deck as a company or Solar Gray the cinematic sorcerer.
here's why.
Go on.
Here's why I'm glad Trump is president. When Obama became president, they were like, see, anybody could be president. And I was like, no, motherfucker. Of course, the super intelligent, suave, swagged out,
Language.
articulate. Oh, I'm sorry. Articulate black guy with the degree from a Ivy League school can be president. Of course. But when Trump became president, anybody live in the hood, you know that crackhead that you could pay $5 to wash your windows? When Trump became president, I believe that guy could be president. Literally, now anybody can be president. Anybody.
As long as you got rich parents, television celebrity, which doesn't come to most of the poor. But that's off topic. And remember, as far as language, pretend like your grandmama's gonna watch this. I'm not saying be totally Mr. Rogers. I'm just saying substitute a mug every once in a while.
Another grandma, because my grandma is
Then
I'm sorry, Granny.
Yeah,
You're a great person, Granny.
yeah, that's it. What
I hope
was
those
that to
winks
your grandma?
didn't- She's great. They didn't catch me winking, did they?
No, the camera wasn't trained on you with the
Good.
moment. Now, when we get the new switcher, you won't be able to get away with that stuff.
Uh-oh.
So yeah,
My granny is great. Fake smile.
yeah. So as I was saying, with the exposure to the comic characters, you have a larger number of people that are more interested in checking out the Marvel books because of the cinematic universe and the quality that it's brought to the table.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm going to
that's the
say
whole-
this. Nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy comic books until that movie came out.
I will tell you, nobody gave a damn about Iron Man until that came out. You tell me Iron Man was not second tier.
I liked, I was never an Iron Man fan, but I liked House of M.
Okay. All right. You know what? That was a good story.
Yeah.
But the fact is that Marvel's number one cash cow, number one and number two cash cow, were the two that they had to sell in 2000 when they
Spider-Man
went
and
bankrupt.
X-Men, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't like Captain America either, but after seeing him in the movies, that's when I first got into Captain America. I always thought Captain America was lame. And you know what's crazy? It has nothing to do with comic books. I always thought Captain America was lame because he was like the wackest person to pick in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Right, he was the kin.
That was all I knew about him. Was like, oh, the trash dude with the shield. Well, let me just pick Ryu and Hadouken through that, and just that's why I thought he was trash. Had nothing to do with his actual character. Just how he performed in a video game determined if I looked this person up or not.
Right. But he was Iron Man was second tier the whole time. Nobody really cared about Iron Man.
He was that guy in Marvel vs. Capcom, though. You spammed that repulsor cannon, that level 3. Yeah.
And yet your tattoo is of Shumagorath?
I played as him too, bro. He was like the first character with like technically an infinite combo because it was his DPS was just so fast and his frame rates were so short. You could just juggle forever and just cheat.
I get you. I totally get you. I'm just fixing this frame real quick, ladies and gentlemen. That's all. Just fixing the frame. But yeah. So, but the Marvel movies now everybody's talking about Iron Man. Iron Man.
Well,
And now, to let you know, as far as the diversity thing, one of your bad picks, one of your picks for the characters that were bad was my girl. Hopefully, the representation of
Here it
the
comes.
adolescent girl
Here
of color,
it comes.
and that is Miss Riri Williams right here.
Trash. Riri Williams is trash.
Now, see, I read the Iron Man books when she first came out,
Trash.
primarily because I'm like, oh, a smart black girl from the hood that reverse engineered Tony Stark's thing. And here's the gig. Okay, this is where I stand on Riri, and you got, and I'm just, before, I know what the knee-jerk reaction is. I know it. I'm there. Okay, we're good. Which is, I like the attempt, and she would have been a lot better because she's a new character.
As a villain.
She was introduced in the books, but she was introduced poorly by bad writers, and I think bad writing is the number one reason that people don't like the attempts.
And that's what we're about to get to. So to me, Riri Williams was a great concept, very poor execution. It didn't even make sense. Like, I know it's a comic book, but based on the predetermined rules already, can we at least, suspend my disbelief a little bit that just randomly some girl happens to be able to just reverse engineer Tony Stark's suit? Like that she's magically smarter than the alien designer baby? What? How? Explain. You can't just, I'm going to read and be better than this guy. No, I needed more. Like, maybe if somebody else would have helped her make it, I would have believed it, but it just wasn't adding up. It made Tony Stark look bad in order to make her look good, and that's the wrong way to pass the torch. Ultimate Spider-Man did it right. He went out like a G, straight gangster, before they gave it to Miles Morales. And also, it technically wasn't in the main universe. So yes, you killed Peter Parker off, but you could still read about him elsewhere. Whereas Tony Stark was dead in the main universe not dead. He was in like a coma or whatever when they were, when Riri had it. But you still had a Spider-Man, and then we grew to love Miles Morales. Me, I loved him more than Peter Parker.
We'll get to Miles in a minute.
Okay, that was an example I brought up.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But the problem that I found with Riri, okay, and I don't think she's trash because I don't think any. Oh, look, we got Clever Vixen over here going, hey, Prodigy happens. But yeah, what I'm gonna say is, had her story been like, had she been introduced in Iron Man 3 years earlier, and we got to see her grow as a character,
right,
that would have been good. The place that I see that they did it right,
pacing was bad,
was right here. My pick for them doing it good: Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
And I need to apologize about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur because I was like talking mad crap about this book and I hadn't even read it. I just knew it was trash off Riri Williams, and I was wrong. I got like 3 issues because it I think from Free Comic Book Day or something like that. They're good.
Yeah, Moon Girl is the jazz, man.
It's just one thing. Devil Dinosaur, he needs to avenge Moon Boy. He needs to eat those monkeys. Like, I don't want them defeated. They killed your boy. You need to eat him. Show me you're a dinosaur. But I love how like it's like a more PG superhero story, but she is introduced to all these grown-up heroes. It's kind of like Monsters of the Week. That is a great way to go about it. It's kind of like the old school Spider-Man was friends, but with a chick with a freaking dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't lose.
See,
and it's drawn great.
Yeah, and when I talk about like diversity in comics, like we want to reach a more diverse audience. Every time I'm in a comic book store, and you can ask one of the dudes at the Bug, when I see a little girl of color, I'm like, you are not holding Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Because if this is an aspiration, we're talking a super genius girl who makes cool sci-fi,
cool genius. Yeah. It makes sense that she's smart.
She makes cool sci-fi gadgets and goes on an adventure riding a T-Rex. So we are talking Dexter's Laboratory meets Jurassic Park.
You can't lose.
An 11-year-old black girl with Afro puffs.
You can't lose.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is most definitely an example of doing it right. So if Riri had been a lot more like Moon Girl, a whole lot more like Moon Girl, I think people would be better. Now, here is the question in regards to Riri. Okay, and this is, you're a very intelligent man, so you should have known this question was coming. Now that she's out there, now that she's in the Marvel universe as Iron Maiden or Ironheart, what can be done to fix her character?
She needs to become an anti-hero.
Go on.
Okay, this is how you do it. You throw her into some wishy-washy event or whatever. Make her come out of it battle damage. She needs to lose a limb or get cybernetic enhancements. Every now and then because that's how she kind of did it in the comic book. She kind of ran into battles that she really wasn't supposed to win. And I did like that she would lose or mess stuff up a lot, but there was no real ramifications behind, like, hey, you did this, blew this building up, or even though, it's no body count, whatever, next time. Like, no, there needs to be ramifications for her losing these battles. Want her to lose an eye, maybe a leg, maybe an arm, and slowly but surely become angry at the world that she can't be the hero she wants to be. She paints the suit black and becomes Warheart.
So what I'm
female War Machine.
So what I'm seeing is you're essentially trying to make her Marvel's Cyborg with an edge.
Just a female War Machine because she failed as a female Iron Man. And I think it's more interesting.
See, I would disagree with that. I would. And this is why. I'm going to tell you why I disagree, and then I'm going to give you what I think can be done to make her better. Okay? Riri is a girl from Round the Way.
Round the Way.
Okay? What? I'm old. She's a girl from damn Millhouse. He's like Edgelord Supreme.
But you'd read that book, right, Millhouse? That sounds dope. You'd read that book, right? That would sound dope.
Now, what the reason I don't like it is because there are too many people of color in comics who, one, are about the hood and the struggle. With that, I gotta say Luke Cage, Black Lightning, Black Dynamite, even Static Shock to a certain degree. Okay, and Al Simmons, and it's like, if you're black, you're gonna get lightning, superpowers, and you gotta be in the hood.
Al Simmons is not about the struggle. He does not care.
Oh yeah, I forgot, because he lost all of his skin and he's burning in hell. Anyway,
there we go.
But my whole point is that the only real black superheroes that aren't sidekicks, I'm looking at you, Falcon and War Machine, and
hey man, leave Falcon alone. He tried, man. He just a dude with wings.
Yeah, exactly. He tried, and the only real hero that the black community really gets is African. You get dignity if you're from Africa. Chala and Ororo. But
she half American. No, her daddy was from the hood.
But she wasn't. Culturally,
she was in the African hood, bro. That's worse.
No, it's different because it's dignity. It's just like Jamaican hood is different from New York.
You still in America, you get like 3 months. You still in Africa, you lose a hand, bro.
Yeah, but it's a difference in thinking, because in America there's no ancestral identity. In Africa there is, although you might lose a limb. So it's a different flavor. Okay, what I'm saying is
that
the flavor
is true though.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is the flavor of American black with dignity is not really represented in that sense.
They took it from us.
So given that,
monsters,
I would make Riri Williams learn from her mistakes and spend some time with Cap to be the Iron Man that Tony Stark should have been, and show her trials and tribulations on the way. And you know who really actually inspires me to think about that?
Go on.
Virgil. Make Riri the Marvel equivalent to Static. Show her the struggle, but show her still being... All right, I've been watching Luke Cage for the other show, and one thing that was said is that black women already have superpowers of taking terrible situations and making something good out of it. Show that to Riri. Give her mentors of elders from the community, and really show that she can be more than that. No anti-hero, no nothing. I want her to evolve into Shuri under the tutelage of Captain America.
You gotta put the medicine in the candy. Ain't nobody reading that boring book you just described. They want to see Warheart. They want to see her going around blowing stuff up with laser beams. Then transition to her road to redemption.
Once she blows up stuff with laser beams, it's too late. Most of the audience has said, oh, look, another violent black girl.
I watched Captain Marvel enslave humanity and still get respect after Secret Wars.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel, my friend, is an Aryan goddess. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, middle-class veteran.
He's calling you racist.
Kinda.
Okay.
I'm calling out the United States' racist culture.
Okay.
I am.
Real quick in the chat room, who y'all want to see? Y'all want to see Warheart or y'all want to see African Goddess, the Iron Man that she was supposed to be? Y'all want to see Warheart? Y'all want to see a female War Machine?
Let's see. Millhouse is saying like Misty Knight.
But better.
Well,
more higher body count.
Vixen. Millhouse is saying Black Lightning and Static Shock is a live action. But the conversation is looking like Vixen is saying wouldn't do that to Ironheart. Female heroes of color get the Wounded Warrior trope too much. Like Misty Knight, says Millhouse.
But she already set herself up to be that. Well, no, the writer set her up to be that.
And the writer can always come back. But again, make her inspirational instead of dark. And I think Marvel needs a little bit of that.
I love villains. That's why I'm being biased.
Of course, you love Batman. That means you love villain. And let me guess, Spider-Man is one of your favorite Marvel books.
He was.
Because he's got the best rogues gallery.
Well, just from OG seniority in my imagination, Spider-Man is technically my favorite Marvel hero, but I guess I would pass the torch to Doctor Strange now that I'm older and more into like magical stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Ruthless pick a horse, man. Serious. He's like, let her go through both. I think,
But that's what I was getting at. Yeah, she can be good after she's been Warheart and killed some people. She need a body count. She need to wake up in cold sweats from all those innocent children she vaporized accidentally. That's what I need to see.
Oh, Batman, the villain of heroes. But so honestly, what I'm saying is, and I think what we can actually agree on, is that the character itself isn't trash, but her introduction was trash, and that she can be pulled back to be made into a good character.
Built up to be is
trash. All right.
The character's potential is infinite.
All right. Okay. Now see, I'm liking that you're putting
it's one thing that they did right towards the end before they passed the torch back to Tony. They recognized, hey, you messed up.
Right.
And rather than just be like, no, everything was okay, but you're just not Iron Man anymore. Like, that left room for her to be like, how do I be better?
Okay. Now,
I am becoming Warheart.
Now, the next part I'm going to bring up as far as the argument against making good characters or making new characters. All right, new characters, because the Jane Foster Thor thing has a whole lot of stuff around it. A whole lot of stuff around it. But
trash?
I got to bring up my character that didn't work, and I want it to work, okay? Because I see your point. And I'm going to let you know, as much research as I did on this, the most examples I can get came out of one major book. I swear, it's literally DC Comics' trump card, which is when you need to make a political race statement, make it a Green Lantern book. It is so hilarious. But as far as if you're going to make a new character thing, I understand why it doesn't work. And I'm gonna use my guy to explain the idea. The idea that I'm talking about, as far as it not working, if you will, is none other than the Blue Marvel. If you take a look at comic history now, are you familiar with who Blue Marvel is?
No.
And see, that kind of proves my point right there.
You've proved nothing. Riri still trash.
Not saying she's not trash. I'm not saying she's not trash. What my point is as far as the argument of,
I mean, I know who the Blue Marvel is. I'm just not familiar with them.
And see, that's kind of a point right there. Let me see if I can find a good picture of my dude right here. But his story is pretty awesome. It is a pretty awesome story.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, what we got here is Blue Marvel, created by Kevin Grevioux. Okay, and we're talking high concept.
He looked trash.
Okay, and he is Superman from Marvel Comics,
but
black and old. Okay, so he covers two demographics. Okay, and when I say old, he was a superhero in the 60s, and he was retconned to be Marvel's first superhero, because you know how the timeline of Marvel is, no matter what you read. It was a few years ago. That was always like, when did the Secret Wars happen? A few years ago. When was House of M? A few years ago. Because that's their way of staying modern and relevant.
Yeah, don't give it an exact timeline because, you got to make people older when you don't want them to be.
Exactly. So it's always, when did Captain America take over the world? A few years ago. When did Nick Fury become the Vision? Or not the Vision, become the Watcher? A few years ago. Blue Marvel.
Samuel L. Jackson as the Watcher.
The Blue Marvel happened in the 60s. It wasn't a few years ago. It was back in the 1960s. He was doing the Superman thing, and he got a shut-up order from Nixon, just like in The Watchmen. Okay? And, again, he was...
Are they realistic with it? Was like, Blue Marvel, you just saved the day. We want to treat you to free lunch. Go in through the back, though. Don't come in through the front.
Kinda. And, yeah, kinda. Because, again, he was written by Kevin Grevioux, a giant black man who's been in the comic and entertainment industry for 30 years. You might know him from such works as Underworld and I, Frankenstein.
I, Frankenstein was trash.
The movie was. The book was fun.
Never read the book.
Yeah, it was a comic as well. But, yeah, I mean, Kevin Grevioux is a 50-something-year-old black dude from the Midwest/South.
Underworld was dope.
Okay? So, and he created the Blue Marvel for Marvel. A new character that was a different take on Superman with his own history. And you know nothing about him.
Because he's probably trash.
He's not.
I'm going to go home and do some research.
Was I wrong about Moon Girl?
I was wrong about Moon Girl, but I admitted to that.
And see, that's exactly my point.
That was before I even met you, though. I was like, man, it was cool. It was cool.
But you know what? I ain't going to lie. I have those same preconceptions. I didn't want to like another good example of diversity and representation who's on my list. I didn't want to. I did not want to like that book. I didn't. But God help me. God help me, I did. But we'll get to them in a minute. So yeah, so when you create a new character from when you create a new
what
character,
they say? They talking head mess?
Heroes don't have a body count unless the Punisher coming from
Bruh, real heroes do kill people. Look at Luke. He killed a whole bunch of employees on the Death Star. Some people was just interns.
But and Vixen is like total trash. I'm like, damn, girl.
Total trash.
Careful, you're trying to be like Jet.
What was she calling trash, though?
I don't know. She's just total trash, all caps, 3 exclamation points, so she means it.
Hey, there you go.
We'll find out later. But when you make a new character from scratch, there's always the fact that, let's be real, comic fans like what they like and nothing else. If there's something different, it's got to be Pulitzer level and pre-approved by a pre-existing character. This was one of the things I was talking about last night when I was thinking about this episode. You can make new characters all day, but unless you introduce them in team books now, which is the opposite of the way it was in the 60s. But you want a new character, they got to get in by way of the Avengers or by way of X-Men or by way of the JLA. And
I don't know.
If they're like there, then they might get their own spin-off book.
I don't know if I agree with that because of the success of Miles Morales. That was a big thing when they killed Spider-Man to replace him with the black guy.
Well, but remember, he was introduced.
But is that because it was Elseworld? Because Ultimate was not the main universe.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. He was tried out in a different universe as an addition to someone else's book. And it took a couple of years for the comic readers to go, all right, this Miles guy is okay.
I fell right in love when I was and I was against it.
Okay.
Literally the first issue, like when I found out his uncle was a thief, like his origin is how he became Spider-Man, I was like, okay, this story's moving. I like this.
Okay.
It was just so different. Like, it's not just like they gave Peter Parker a reskin. It's just a black Peter Parker. Like, no, this was a totally different character, totally different background, totally different story elements to a Spider-Man universe. It was something new and dope.
Okay. All right. Given that we have characters like the Blue Marvel and Miles Morales, who I agree with you 100%. And I was against it, not for the same reasons that you were. It was just, I was working at a comic book store in 2001, and I was just done with the Spider-Man title. I'm like, I'm a grown man now. I don't need to read a book about teen angst. And it wasn't until 2007 that I started reading the Miles stuff from the Ultimates, and I'm like, you know what? This guy is good.
Yeah.
This guy is good. Another good example of the thing done right, okay, and this is an old one, but creating a new character requires the pass off of a legacy, but even beyond that, it still takes a lot of the times 10, 11, 12 years, sometimes as much as 30, for new characters to get the whole thing. Now, covering the
Does it always require a passing of the torch, though?
all of the successful ones really have up until this point. Okay, up until this point. I'm not saying it does require.
I was about to point out Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, and see, you were going to go Robbie Reyes, and I was going to point out how the comic book industry think there's only one Latino last name, because my DC counterpart to Robbie Reyes is Jaime Reyes. Okay, so you're talking Ghost Rider, I'm talking the Blue Beetle. And
but who wrote those characters? Who wrote those characters? Because I know Felipe Smith, my boy. Shout out to you, Felipe. I looked up to him as a kid. I've met him once or about twice now at a few cons. I've talked to him on Instagram. He's dope. He wrote that character, and that's from like his point of view, growing up in the hood.
So, in the barrio specifically in the barrio. Yeah, because again, their characters done well. Now I'm not gonna lie. You know I ride a motorcycle.
Okay. Ghost
Rider is the reason that I do. He was my boy when I was a kid. I'm a fan of Johnny Blaze. However, I like... okay, yeah, you thought I was going to say something wrong, huh? No, I like Robbie Reyes. I mean, it's not my culture, okay, so I don't have the connection, but really, Johnny Blaze wasn't. But the Spirit of Vengeance, the Ghost thing, the... I think you pointed out to me at one point, like, he don't screw around with the penance stare. He just takes you to hell.
No,
just done.
Yeah.
You know,
he hasn't even seen his full power yet. That's what I like about Robbie Reyes. So with Ghost Rider, you kind of get Ghost Rider. It's just like Johnny Blaze needs to just learn all about his abilities. But with Robbie Reyes, it's like him and his form of the Ghost Rider power is getting stronger as like the progression of the story. Like he has this like form, he turns like a demon or something like that. The sides of the helmet flip up and turn the horns. I was like, oh yeah, this dude is dope. And I love how his chains like melting like through steel and stuff like that. It's like, I'm not super familiar with Johnny Blaze, but I think he's doing a lot of abilities that we never saw Johnny Blaze do, and the same with Danny Ketch.
Well, honestly, no, everything that Robbie Reyes has done, I've seen him do, because I was an avid Ghost Rider reader back in the late 80s, early 90s. Told you I follow writers. I'm not Marvel or DC. Okay. And again, I was like in junior high. I'm like, yeah, motorcycle, flaming thing.
But I like how every Ghost Rider is different. They're not the same.
You're right.
They all have their same special abilities.
That is a serious point. But the point that I'm getting to, okay, and this is, we got Robbie Reyes, which is kind of a passing of the torch, and we make legacy characters, okay, as we have with the Flash and the Blue Beetle and the Ghost Rider, because the moment they introduced Danny Ketch, it was a Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider became a legacy thing. It became a position. Now,
weren't they technically all Ghost Riders at the same time?
Some, yeah.
Because I know when what I've read so far, Robbie Reyes, Danny Ketch actually came up to him. He's like, he's still out doing his Ghost Rider thing while Robbie Reyes is being Ghost Rider. They're just on different parts of the...
It's a lot like becoming a Green Lantern, where it's becoming more like spiritual cops. Or I like the Nova Corps. And I'm with it, but then one of my favorite books from Marvel is The Midnight Sun, so you know where I sit.
Okay.
But you know, Man-Thing is no Swamp Thing, but that's a completely different thing. But upon thinking about a lot of the stuff, I want to address the Jane Foster Thor thing. Okay. Now, my little vixen, my little hobbit, had one major gripe with it, which was, if Jane Foster had the title...
Thor's not a title.
If Jane Foster had the powers and they did what they did with Jane Foster, she shouldn't have been called Thor.
Right. It's like you trying to strip away his whole name. Like, dang. Like, what are you doing? Thor is not a title. It's his name. we have a female Thor. Her name is Storm. She got her own hammer and everything. She, like, explore that. I want to learn about that. Y'all give me this. She's like, they retconned like how it even works. Like, you can't pick up the hammer if you dying of cancer. You need to be somewhere getting chemo, all right? Don't touch the hammer. Don't touch Mjolnir. Your little filthy cancer hands.
Damn. Okay. Now, see, I was on the fence because, honestly, I don't read Thor, but
I'm
I
sorry
do
to any
read
people
Norse
that have
mythology.
cancer.
Yeah, what was that?
I'm sorry to any people that found that offensive to have cancer.
Okay, cool.
I don't want y'all to die, but y'all just can't beat Thor.
Damn.
They don't have hair. I'm
damn.
sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Savage. Just savage. But what, you know, I didn't really, I don't really care about the Thor books. I liked
That's
the
why.
fact that when Jane Foster was out there as Girl Thor, getting shit from everybody, including the other Asgardians for not being Thor, that Odin's son was out there with Jarnbjorn doing his thing. But,
Being unworthy,
yeah, Hey.
sexist.
you know what? Blame Jonathan Hickman, okay?
No, I actually liked unworthy Thor.
A lot of people did.
I want to see you struggle like and not be a god all the time.
Yeah, and my girlfriend brought up the don't be a whiny bitch about it. Other people picked up the hammer. And my question was always this. When, what is it? James Masterson was Thor in the late 80s, early 90s. Nobody complained. And I was questioning, like, is it because it's a girl? Because Eric Masterson. Eric Masterson, who's now Thunderstrike, but he was Thor. As a matter of
But
fact,
didn't they correct him? Be like, no, you're not Thor, and then that's why he changed his name.
they brought after they brought Odinson back.
Right.
But the whole point was during Infinity Gauntlet, the thing that the Marvel movies are based on, that was Eric Masterson, not Thor Odinson.
True.
Okay.
When he got sent to Earth, yes.
And people didn't care.
I mean, they got to mix and match, you know, the best parts of the comic book with what's going to be best to tell a story. So they take little excerpts from different events and universes and bring them together to make the best story they can tell.
Right.
Nothing
Now,
wrong with that. He ain't supposed to have Stormbringer either, right? He's not supposed to have Stormbringer. That's Beta Ray Bill's hammer.
well, yeah, and Beta Ray Bill was one of the other ones that picked up Mjolnir.
He wasn't calling himself Thor. He was still Beta Ray Bill.
So it's all about the name.
A little bit, because okay, Eric Masterson got corrected. They were like, "You're not Thor. Be something else, but you're worthy." It should have been the same thing. And I don't think Jane Foster was worthy. You want a female? Give me a Roro. I want to see her tell that story. Or why couldn't Valkyrie have picked up the hammer for a little
you
bit?
see
Somebody who
that?
was actually worthy.
See, that right there ended up being the big point that that I was contemplating because of the woman I talked to about this. Primarily because of this. The girl issue is an issue, but it's not an issue of, you don't make my hero a girl, because Odinson was still out there and he had his own book. An Unworthy Thor was good. And in my opinion, so was Jane Foster as Thor. I liked her stories. However, let me finish. Why Jane Foster and why not Valkyrie? Why not Angelica? Why not Sif?
Right.
Not just women, but already established women in the Thor pantheon, in the Thor books, that never got their own chance.
Right. So let me speak on that, because that's my main issue. I don't have a problem with there being a woman wielding Mjolnir and even having the aesthetic of Thor. When I first saw the female Thor, I thought the cover was dope. She looked like this dope Valkyrie with the lightning. I love the artwork of the hair. I was like, okay, this is setting up to be something. But it was poorly written, you know? So it's like, oh, man. But I was here for it at first. But it's like, oh, they're trying to just make her Thor? Like, no, that's not how it works at all. Jane Foster is not worthy. And that's my big issue. So it's like, so anybody can pick up the hammer now.
Okay. When you say not worthy, could you elaborate on that?
You cannot be dying of cancer and pick up Mjolnir. I'm sorry. You got to be a hero at heart and able to carry it out. You sick. The hammer not supposed to make you stronger. You're supposed to already be strong, and you get to wield the hammer.
Okay, so you believe that the worthiness of Mjolnir should be based on physical prowess as well.
I'm with you, man. We had Angelica, we had Sith, we had Valkyrie, we had Aurora. I would love to have seen them wield Mjolnir.
Okay, all right. So,
and as long as the story made sense, I'd have been there for it. But I was not there for the writing of female Thor. It technically retconned how it works, and I think a lot of diehard Thor fans didn't like that.
all right,
Because it's supposed to be a big thing if you could pick the hammer up. And
Okay.
it's not a big thing. So I was like, okay, all you got, just be pure of heart. Like, no, that's not enough.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you on that. I can.
That's my only gripe. But
Okay, I'm not gonna say I'm with you, but what I am gonna say.
you understand me. You understand?
I understand. I understand. Finally, because all I hear is it's bad. You don't do that. And one of the things, as far as the gender swap thing, because I mean, right here we got a picture of
Yeah,
of Jane
that picture is dope. That's
Yeah,
why.
and I'm like,
I love that. I was
yeah.
like, okay, I'm here for this.
And you know, when the writing happened at the beginning of the book, I thought it was Valkyrie.
Right? I
know?
totally thought that was Valkyrie. And they're like Jane Foster. Like, no.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, because Natalie Portman thing. That's true, Millhouse. Magic does beat everything, especially cancer. But it don't beat bullets. Screw you one more day.
She still got cancer though, bro. It didn't beat cancer.
You know, yeah, I know it beat chemo. But I think back to that thing, and I think about an example of the thing working. Okay, and this brings me back to the whole Green Lantern thing, because number one, I'm gonna put this out there right now. I don't believe that any character is trash. I believe that a writer can make a character good.
Is this because of Kite Man?
Yeah, it's because read it. Read The War of Jokes and Riddles. But even beyond that, John Stewart was the most boring Lantern ever. So much so that he was fired from being a Green Lantern. Actually, he quit being a Green Lantern. Then he went working as a Dark Star, which was the anti-Green Lantern force. And then came the Justice League cartoon. And when
That's
Bruce
all I
Timm,
know about John Stewart.
yeah, John Stewart, his first appearance in the 1970s was him having to protect a racist senator as a Green Lantern, and Hal Jordan was called in by the Guardians to keep an eye on him because they didn't know whether or not he was going to let the senator die or kill the senator. And John Stewart was like, no, I don't agree with his politics. I hate his hate speech and all that stuff. But murder is not the way. We just got to make sure he don't get the job. That was his first appearance in 1974. And from then on, I'm like, he's an engineer, but all he does is bubbles. Like Hal Jordan had all the all of the knights and all that stuff. He had knights and castles and boomerangs and freaking catapults and giant boxing gloves. And John Stewart had a beam and a bubble. So boring, almost as boring as
Super
the
bubble.
power cosmic welded by the Silver Surfer. Yay, another laser. You know, but with the Justice League cartoon, Tim Sale, Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, a lot of those guys took that character and made him the Green Lantern for an entire generation of people. And the Green Lantern, like, finally black kids had a hero that wasn't African and wasn't about the struggle. You know,
We not all about the struggle.
Yeah.
Some of us got money too, man.
you know, we had a black man in space that wasn't Captain Cisco. And that was cool. You know, that was very cool. And again, I had to bring up Green Lantern because so far they've had a black dude, an Asian dude, a Muslim dude, and a Latino woman. and they're all Green Lanterns right now. And yeah, Kyle is Asian. You know, half Asian, half Irish. But those were all new characters that had their new backgrounds.
Why are they afraid to make Asian superheroes, samurais, and ninjas? Is it because it's racist?
No, it's boring.
No, it's not, man.
Yeah,
we don't
it is.
really have a cool samurai superhero or a cool ninja superhero.
When was the last time you read Li Fang?
Never.
Exactly.
Because it's trash.
It's not trash.
trash.
It is not trash. How can you say it's trash if you never read it?
See, it's this weird sense of logic that I work on that if it wasn't trash, I wouldn't have read it. So it's
Oh,
just
so you know everything.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Little
How about Nah? How about Nah, man? That's Boo Boo. I'm sorry.
I ain't never heard that name before. That's how I know it's trash.
I'm
Where his
sorry,
fan art at?
Huh?
Where his fan art at? That's how you determine how cool a character is.
Okay.
Based on how good the fan art is.
Because, you know, I mean, Li Fang is honestly, who people wanted that Iron Fist to be
He
about.
might as well be Iron Fish.
You know, but yeah, but yeah, he was the chop suey type thing. There he is.
About to try to find the best picture.
You know, oh, Shang-Chi. Sorry, Shang-Chi.
Didn't even get his name right.
That's because I haven't watched it. I haven't.
Because it's trash. Just admit it's trash.
I can't admit that it's trash because I rather enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm talking about.
You can like trash.
All right, look, people. I'm talking about the Masters of Kung Fu title out there. Masters of
Oh
Kung
yeah, that
Fu.
look weak.
It was 1970s, man.
Nah.
You know. But yeah, Master of Kung Fu. Like here's a better one, right there. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that one. Right.
So when did this get canceled? After 7 issues?
Dude, that's issue 79 on screen.
They was just printing anything back then. Man.
You just will not be incorrect.
You didn't even know his name,
You know?
but you the fan, right?
Huh?
You the fan. Though.
I'm not
You couldn't get
saying
his
I'm
name
a
right.
fan. I'm saying it wasn't trash.
It was. So to me, the definition of not being trash is
Uh-huh.
if you could stomach it.
Next time you're at the Bug, just read some back issues, okay? Is that fair?
I feel like it's gonna give me a headache.
I'm not
It's
saying pay for it. I'm just saying read it. You're going to be sitting in the comic store
gonna-
anyway.
I ain't got no back issues of that in the comic book.
How do you know?
Because they used it to like burn firewood or something.
They ain't
Keep-
got
keep
it.
the lights
How
on.
do you know? Because I don't want to look at it, so they ain't got it.
Yep.
That's all. That's just,
Yep.
I didn't have no math test. Yeah, you did. Well, I
Nah.
didn't feel like going to school, so I didn't have a math test.
Facts. That's how it worked.
Yeah. Damn dead fish. But yeah, so that's the whole gig. When it comes to the changing up of the genders, that's a really big thing because people are going, no, you don't make my heroes girls. Why? And I think
It are some. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, I know Beyonce released the best album of all time. Now, I honestly think that I don't like it because it's made of girls. I'm gonna say, like, I'm mad about something, and I'm gonna say the most hurtful thing I can think of, whether or not I actually think that, because I can tell you 3 reasons why I liked the new Ghostbusters. 3. I can tell you 40 why I didn't, but it all comes down to 1. And it's not that the new Ghostbusters sucked because it was starring women. It sucked primarily because those 3 women didn't work off of each other as well as
No.
Aykroyd, Murray, and I can't believe I keep forgetting the name of the actor who plays my favorite Ghostbuster. I'm an Egon fan.
I knew you was gonna say Egon.
Yeah,
You look like you like Egon.
Of course I like Egon. Hello.
I like Egon.
He
too.
makes all the stuff.
Yeah.
But I would hang out with Ray, and I'd probably punch Peter but hang out with Ray and Winston. The chemistry between those guys, it didn't have to be about ghosts.
Could have been any movie.
It could have been a road
classic.
trip movie with
Yep.
them. Could have been a romantic comedy with them. It was all about those actors bouncing off of each other, and the new Ghostbusters didn't have that.
They made everybody scientists except the black girl. The black girl couldn't be a scientist.
Winston wasn't a scientist either.
Yeah, no, but in the remake, everyone gets to be scientists except the black girl.
Yeah. I didn't like that
That was some bullshit, Hollywood.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie about that. But the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man scene, I liked the climactic scene, because they upped the stakes because modern special effects would
That
allow them
scene
to.
always made me want ice cream.
What, Stay Puft?
Yeah, that scene, like when he's like melting, it's like marshmallow everywhere. I want some ice cream.
I always wondered how many people should have died, because have you ever touched molten marshmallow?
Yeah, there was an incident where I tried to do a science project in a microwave. I thought, you put a marshmallow in the microwave and it gets bigger. I was like, why is it getting big? Am I mutating this marshmallow? So, put like 7 in there and put it on like 5 minutes. Bruh,
And that microwave looked at you and said, "You gonna learn today.
bruh, I got a
You want to know? Yeah, you got a whooping."
Yeah, but I destroyed the microwave. It expanded like all into the microwave and everywhere.
See, I thought you were going, it expanded into the microwave, and then you opened it, and then you had
That
to clean
too.
it out, and
That
then you
too.
learned
That
why
too.
they call sugar culinary napalm.
Yeah, bro. There was incidents where my little brother and me tried to make caramel. And
Yeah, this ain't gonna.
it's not my fault. He's just as stupid as I was, but I'm like almost 4 years older than him. So we were boiling the sugar, and then he's like, "I want to taste it," and I don't know what in my mind convinced me to be like, "Okay, sure, bro." I took a plastic spoon and put it in there, and the plastic spoon melted, and I was like, "Nah, get a metal one." And then I see the sugar boiling in the metal spoon, And he's like, and I'm like, you should blow it first. And I remember saying like, nah, you should put it on your hand because it looks kind of hot. And he puts it on his hand and he's like runs around the house screaming before I finally decide to turn the water on and like put his hand under the water. And there's like this huge crystalline form over his hand of the molten sugar. And I like took it off and like peeled his skin off or whatever. It grew back. He still got skin on his hand. But yeah, that was not my best moments as a big brother.
Okay, that's fair. It's fair. But yeah, so I gotta say, man, this has been a good show, but we're running out of time. So I want you guys, especially, thank you guys, chat, for showing up and actually having conversation. And I want you guys to share, subscribe, head down to Back in the Deck at Gmail. Head down to backinthedeck.com, which is where we are going to have this archived and you can see it. And the site is free for now. And we will probably be monetizing it around mid-July or early August. I'm just letting you guys know that. So everything is up there and it's for free right now. So check out some of the back issues. And this has been a tough talk. But I'm glad that I finally got the Savage Sable.
We didn't even scratch the surface,
man. No, we didn't. But you know what? We got time. We got time to revisit
about Iceman.
We got time to revisit this subject. Because I want to talk about Iceman later when I have someone LGBT in here.
They gonna hate me.
They might not. But again, we're all here to discuss and exchange ideas. It ain't about being right. It's about understanding.
It is if you're me.
It's about understanding. So, what I am going to say, my good people, is thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any stuff, you can always hit us up on...
we got an outro?
Yeah, we got an outro. So hit us up at backinthedeck@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on the YouTube /BidP. That is little b, or all lowercase BID space P. Follow us on the Twitter on Back in the Deck, and join the book, or join the Facebook group Deckers on the Book, where you can talk to each other, you can talk to us, you can exchange your ideas, put up fan art, and all that jazz. And if you are anything like me or Sable or anybody that actually comes in and does these podcasts with me, then you should check us out on SoundCloud, because there you can always download the audio from our shows for free to keep forever and listen to at your leisure. And if you're anything like us, you were stuck in traffic a whole lot of traffic, a whole lot of buses and trains. So check us out on the SoundCloud and follow us on the Instagram. But for those of you guys on the SoundCloud, because I forgot to say the thing, that is SoundCloud /BidP. That is little b, little I, little d _p. And hit us up on the Instagram at Instagram /BackinTheDeck. And just remember this: we talk about a lot of things and we get heated and we get angry, but we always come back and try and find some center ground, because we are a community. And being a community, that means we must commune, keep our doors open, leave the fury for the trolls, because once they show up, we're gonna start hurting a lot of them with our words and our facts. But in the meantime,
I want all the smoke, trolls.
You know, even oh no, trolls get the banhammer, bruh. That's what they do, because this is a safe place for people of color, women, LGBT,
I'm
the
like
disabled,
the
and the
Goblin Slayer when it comes to trolls. I have out-argued them.
Yeah, and
I'm undefeated.
Yeah, but trolls don't care about arguing. We will talk about arguing in good faith, but I promise you, when it's time to unleash you, trust the wizard. But in the meantime, on that, I'm gonna say thank you guys for showing up. I am Solar Gray, and again, check out our stuff. And I want to thank you for showing up, Mr. Nance. Where can they reach you if they want to get a hold of you?
Facebook, Sable Nance. Instagram, Sable, SABLE _ROXX. My Twitter is the same. And those are usually the social medias that I'm on.
Awesome blossom. And again, you can always hit us up at backinthedeck@gmail.com and leave us with your questions or any of that stuff. But I'm going to say that if somebody out there tells you that you can't like what you like because of your age, religion, circumstances of birth, sexual preference, or whether or not you can walk, you just tell them to take those cards and put them back in the deck.
That is not true. If someone tells you you shouldn't like little boys and you're an adult man, you should not like little boys.
You totally missed the whole point of that outro.
I did.
You know, we don't support NAMBLA in the United States, but again,
just check it.
So yeah, and also come check us out at backinthedeck.com as well. But again, if somebody tells you that you can't be into the stuff that you're into because of the circumstances of your birth, your race, religion, creed, or any circumstances of birth, you tell them to take all those cards and put them back in the deck. This is Solar Gray saying thank you guys for tuning in and good night.
Bye. Is it over?
Also, opening music by Kevin MacLeod. I bet you thought I was going to forget you.
Did they hear me say, is it over? I'm so unprofessional.